Hi, I'm Matt with eTrailer, and today we're going to be talking about our Rhino Rack Roof Rack on top of our 2023 Cadillac XT5. Now this is going to be a great option for you if you're running out of space in the back of your car, whether you have a lot of people or items back there, you don't have that space anymore, you need somewhere to put it. Or you have longer items like a kayak or skis, so this is going to be a great solution for you. What's great about this one in particular is if you want to take these off every now and then, you're going to have that option, and it's going to be pretty easy to do. This roof rack today is going to be made up of 3 parts. You're going to have your 46-inch aero crossbars on top. Beneath that, you're going to have our towers, and that's going to connect to our fit kit, which grabs onto our flush rails. Let's take a closer look at that crossbar. We're going to have a few features that make this more aerodynamic, and one of those is going to be the shape of it, being narrowed on either side. Another thing too is going to be this weather strip on top. It's going to prevent any wind from going through there and whistling. It's also going to keep any of that debris from falling in there. What this is here for is if you have any accessories that use T-channels, they'll plug in right at the top. You're also going to have this core on the side, and it's going to use the Rhino-Rack key, which is just going to be a plastic piece that deters theft. And underneath, you'll have an additional channel, and that's where your Rhino-Rack towers are going to attach to. What's nice about these towers are they're really easy to take on and off, just attaching to that fit kit. And when they're off, you'll have this included cap just to protect the top of this and give it a cleaner look. As far as what you can put up here, you're going to be able to put up to 165 pounds on the crossbars. But make sure you know what your roof can handle. You can check that in your owner's manual because you don't want to overload that roof. And to go off of that, we can check our crossbar spread, which is going to be from the front of the front crossbar and the front of the rear crossbar. It's going to be about 28 inches. So since these are at fixed points, this is going to be important to note so you know what accessories you can put up here that will accommodate that. And going off of that, finding our crossbar spread from the front of the front crossbar and the front of the rear crossbar, that's going to be 28 inches. So that's important to note so you know what accessories can fit up here since these are at fixed points. And what accessories can actually go onto these bars are going to be any T-track accessories or clamp-on ones. How it's going to interact with the top of your roof, if you get the overhang, that's going to be a little bit under 4 inches. So you might have enough room to get any small clamp-on accessories at the very edge, but if you have anything that's wider, it might not fit there. That's just a lot easier if you have anything like a kayak carrier that you don't want to reach way over here. That's going to make it a lot easier for you if you have it at the very edge. And for the total height it's going to add from the top of our rails, that's going to be 3.5 inches. So what I'd recommend doing for that is taking the total height of your vehicle, your crossbar, and any accessories you have on top of that so you know what areas you can make it under. And for underneath the crossbar to the top of the roof, that's going to be about 3 inches. So that gives you an idea if you do decide to go with any clamp-on accessories, what can fit under there. Now keep in mind, if you do have this window at the very top, you don't want to scratch that. Overall, I think this is going to be a solid choice for the XT5, especially if you're running out of space in the back of your car. And if you're looking for something that's going to be pretty quick and easy to take on and off, since you can just take off the towers and crossbars. As for the rest of the installation, actually getting the fit kit up here, there's a few things we had to work out, but it was fairly straightforward. But if you need a hand with that, just stay tuned and we'll show you how to do it. To start off our installation, we're just going to lay everything out. So we're going to have our crossbars, the towers, and along with their end caps. And on the other side, we're going to have our hardware too, and the fit kit. The tools you have that comes with this is going to be this Allen key and this key to unlock the end caps to your crossbar. And what I recommend grabbing is a 10mm wrench. To start things off, we're just going to line up this rubber piece with the fit kit, going from underneath and matching up those blocks with the holes. Getting each block through there, making sure that this metal gets below that rubber lip. Then repeat that process with the other one. I laid out a towel just to make sure nothing gets scratched up on the top of here. And now we're going to take off these caps. That's going to be the location where we put our fit kit at. Now to take them off, we originally thought we had to use a trim tool just to pry them off, but you can actually just rotate this and it'll just unscrew. You just repeat that process for each one of them up here. We're going to grab our fit kit and we're going to line up these two holes. To these two holes we just took those caps off of and put in our cap screws, making sure you got those washers on there. At first you're just going to put them on, just hand tightness wise. Just get it started, making sure you don't tighten one more than the other. You're just going to use your Allen key to tighten this down the rest of the way. And after, when you get done with this, you can repeat that same process on the other side. We're going to start getting our crossbars ready, just flipping it over, and then grabbing your key for those end caps, removing them, just lining everything up, and twisting. Pull it right off, and now you can grab your towers, making sure they're in this orientation, that block facing down, and slide it right through that channel. After, when you have it on there, make sure you put your end cap back on and lock it into place. To make things a little bit easier for you, I recommend just tightening this down slightly, just so it's not going to be super loose and it's going to be sliding all over the place, but you still want it loose enough where you can still make your adjustments if need be. And then just make sure you do the same thing for the other tower. Lift it up and place it roughly where our fit kit is. Now this won't be perfect the first time, so you're just going to have to make some adjustments once you have it up here. Before I cinch this down, I'm just going to measure both sides just to make sure our overhang is going to be the same, measuring from the tower to the end of the crossbar. When everything's looking even, I'm just going to flip this over now, very carefully, so I don't lose my measurement and so I don't scratch anything up. Then I'm going to tighten this tower the rest of the way down using your Allen key. After, when you've tightened both sides, you can flip it back over and line everything back up. And then you're going to take your bolts and washers and screw it in from the back side. That hole is going to be right on top of that tower right here. You can start just by doing this hand tight. Once it's hand tight, I recommend doing the other side first. And once you've done that other side, you can come back in with that 10mm socket wrench or wrench and tighten it down the rest of the way. Now sometimes these towers won't be lined up when you cinch one side down, so what you can do to solve that is just come underneath it. You can just loosen that up and then just adjust from there. Then afterwards you'll be able to move that tower. Just keep in mind that it's going to be a little bit difficult to get underneath and do. Once everything is tightened down, just take your end caps and place them on the back of your towers and lock them in place. Afterwards, give it a good shake test. Make sure everything's feeling good. And once you've done that, you can repeat that same process on the back crossbar. That's just a look at the installation and some of the features of our Rhino Rack Roof Rack on top of our 2023 Cadillac XT5.